morning, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Um, I hope all of you are as excited as I am. Today is the first time I'll be teaching on virtual Google Classroom, and I don't think I ever dreamt that I'll teach you guys in such a way. But then this is one of the best advanced technologies that one can experience, and let's just take the most of it out of it. So, if you remember when we started a class after the winter break, we started with the poetry section, and as I completed the first poem by Robert Frost with you, this is a second poem that we had just started, and we couldn't finish it before the schools were shut. So today we are going to do Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Before we start the poem, I would just like to take some time to explain things which are portrayed in a very metaphorical way by Robert Frost. One of the most important components of human beings, in fact, qualities of human beings as God has created us, is our never-ending desire, and the other character that we have, qualities, I would not call it qualities, but character that we have as human beings is hatred. So in this poem, the poet has very artistically um, tried to portray these important components and compare it with forces of nature in order to explain what can be, how it can lead to a catastrophic end. So before we start, how would you feel if the entire world finishes up, particularly in such a situation where we have landed up right now? We are, let me just put it in this way, that we are forced to confine ourselves because of the ongoing pandemic all across the world. So Robert Frost is also trying to explain these things in his short book. Um, when we are thinking about modern poetry, um, I think one of the most important poets that one should remember is Robert Frost. As I have written a couple of things before about Robert Frost, it says that he was born in 1874 in San Francisco, California, so we can understand that he was an American poet. And he was loved and admired for his depictions of the rural life of England. And because he was an American, so he was loved for his hold and command over the American colloquial language, spoken language. Um, before we start this poem, I would just like to give you a brief introduction about what he's trying to compare these forces of nature with. So Robert Frost is trying to, how he is just putting up a question at the end of the poem, saying that how would you feel if the world finishes up um, in fire and ice? And fire and ice here has been compared with one of the most important components of human nature. Fire has been compared with hatred, and ice has been compared with desire. Desires that do not end um, anytime. I did start and give you an introduction in your class before the schools were shut. And so I would just like to reiterate so that the other section, because I don't think the other section did go through fire and ice. So I'm just repeating whatever was taught in the introduction.